Happy International Women's Day!
Celebrated as early as 1911 and adopted by the feminist movement in 1967, and then recognised by the United Nations in 1977, International Women's Day is a global day celebrating the social, economic, cultural and political achievements of women. The day also marks a call to action for accelerating women's equality.
The theme this year for International Women's Day 2021 is Choose to Challenge. A challenged world is an alert world. We as individuals are responsible for our own thoughts and our own actions every day, all day. We can choose to call out and challenge gender bias when we see it, or challenge inequalities when we see them. We can also choose to celebrate women's achievements. Collectively, working together, we can all make this a more inclusive world.
To get you started, here are some of our amazing and inspirational MiQ women from across the world to give you their single best piece of advice on the theme Choose to Challenge.
So often as women, we think we're alone. We think we're the only person struggling with imposter syndrome or infertility. We feel alone because we keep secrets from each other. Secrets about our bodies, about our mental health, even the families that we are so proud of. So in this day when we choose to challenge, I challenge you to share your stories with each other. Connect with one another and get rid of all of our secrets.
My advice for Choose to Challenge is, first of all, decide what you want to get out of the conversation. My second one is to do it. No one else has your history, your knowledge, or your experience. No one else has your point of view or your ideas. So make sure that you decide what you want and you speak up and you ask for it.
Today, the world sees the tip of the iceberg when it comes to diversity. We see race, we see ethnicity, we see gender. Today, I choose to challenge to see the invisible diversities of dimension, be it caste, disability, sexual orientation, and mental health. I choose to challenge that we create an inclusive environment for everyone to thrive and to be valued in our system.
My Choose Your Challenge advice is to own your power. We as women have so much power in every single decision that we make, whether it's to climb the corporate ladder, to stay or leave the workforce, or to have children, or even to not have children. Those decisions have power. Own it by never letting anyone tell you that your decision is wrong. You've made the right decision for you as your own woman.
Self-confidence, it's not something that we are always naturally born with. And as we grow into women, we find that the world hasn't always been set up to help foster and encourage our own sense of self-confidence. At a young age, girls are often encouraged to be passive, not too confident, not too daring. And as women, we instinctively think about everybody else but ourselves. But this month, during Women's History Month, I choose to challenge you, to challenge your inhibitions, to push yourself forward and to embrace what really makes you uniquely you.
As individuals, we all have things that make us wonderfully unique. And as women, we so often suppress this individuality to make sure that we fit in and don't rock the boat. This has many negative consequences, including preventing us from challenging the things that we believe to be wrong. I challenge you to speak up when you hear, see, or feel something that makes you feel uncomfortable. Share it with your colleagues, your family, and your friends to help shine a spotlight on these behaviours and create positive change.
My number one piece of advice in the theme Choose to Challenge is never feel like you have to wait to speak. Many of us have been inculcated since we were children to let the men speak first or back away and let the men talk. I'd say back yourself, choose to challenge the notion because there is gold in what we'd like to share.
For Choose to Challenge, a bit of advice I heard once at a women's conference. It was negotiate in, negotiate up, and negotiate out. And by that I extrapolated that everything is negotiable and one should never fear what it takes to self-advocate. I like to think about challenging regularly, questioning everything, and just don't question yourself along the way.
Choose to challenge the ways that you think about working, and workplaces. The people who came up with kind of how we all work today and how workplaces look didn't do it with workers in mind. They didn't do it with the idea that you would thrive and excel. And frankly, they didn't have the courage to think about workplaces beyond their own experience. And so we have the opportunity to make something new and better for each other. So choose to challenge those moments where it feels like you can't rest. Choose to challenge those moments where it feels like the environment is unwelcoming for marginalized people, for racialized people, for caregivers. Choose to challenge those moments where it feels like if you're thriving, that means that other people can't thrive alongside you.
On this International Women's Day, I choose to challenge the stigma of women's mental health. Mental health can impact any one of us at any time. For women in particular, we are more likely to be prone to societal factors that can negatively influence our mental health, such as the fact that women are still overrepresented in low-income, low-status jobs. Women typically tend to wear several hats, whether that's across the household, the family, or the workplace. Let's also not forget the different disorders that can impact women specifically, including perinatal disorders such as postpartum depression, anxiety, and psychosis, as well as perimenopausal disorders, amongst other things.
Women are known to be the symbol of utmost affection that not only leads the perfect life for herself, it also lays down the strongest base and foundation for others' dreams as well. I choose to challenge the thought that the rise of women is not about the fall of men. This is also an opportunity for each of us to thank every woman who has touched our lives. Happy International Women's Day to you all, and thank you so much.